Guys, I'm telling you, I found so much evidence, so much new evidence that Kamala Harris will be winning the election by a landslide. It's not close. It's not close at all. The polls are telling you it's close. It's not close at all. I'm going to tell you why. By the way, I got new layout set up here. But anyway, let's dig in. So let's first take a look at the reputable Atlas Intel poll of Pennsylvania, where they claim, so let's go here. Trump is leading by +3. That's like 2 weeks after the horrendous debate performance he had. Atlas Intel. Let's open up their crosstabs. And what do you see here? What do you see here? Look at the part about black. Can you see my cursor? Donald Trump is winning the black vote 60% to Kamala Harris's 40% in Pennsylvania 2 weeks after the debate. This is Atlas Intel. This is the 3-star pollster 538's got on their website. Just today, or is it yesterday? Let's go to Florida. Oh my God. I can't believe these polls. I really can't. I'm trying. Look, New York Times. Oh my God. New York Times, Siena College, another 3-star pollster. Another one of those elusive, perfect pollsters. I used to be believers of these posters too, right? +14. New York Times, Siena pollsters said Florida right now. I mean, not right now. It was last month, but not by that much. It's like 1 or 2 weeks ago. Donald Trump is up 14 points in Florida. They're saying Donald Trump is having Florida more red than Oklahoma, Alabama, Louisiana, Utah, Montana, Nebraska minus Omaha City, Missouri, Kansas, all the red places on the map, pretty much, other than maybe Tennessee. Do you guys believe this? I mean, they're 3-star pollsters. Don't get me wrong here. I mean, they're 3-star pollsters, huh? They're 3 stars. I'm just saying, like, even as all these like garbage. I mean, there's just like Trafalgar polls. Where do you know those are garbage? But like, even as that is the case, let's go to 538 forecast, right? Which is like I'm saying, all these garbage pollsters just flooding the market with completely unbelievable poll results. I mean, who believes it? Why are they releasing these results? They are just tanking their own reputation. But even then, Kamala Harris is still ahead. I mean, this is one of her lowest probabilities in the election so far. But it's like, what, Florida up 14? It's even worse than Alabama now? And what Atlas Intel is saying, this is Pennsylvania. Okay, actually, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where this is. They're saying Donald Trump, look, Donald Trump, 60% of black people are voting for Donald Trump. What? Or like, is this even believable at any point? Atlas Intel? Guys, you're looking at this, right? Tell me something. Like, it's ridiculous. I mean, all these polls, like Atlas Intel, New York Times, they're 3-star pollsters. 3-star, maxed out. Okay, that's what 538 is saying. But you know what? I think they're garbage. I mean, even the ones that favor Kamala Harris, like the ones from Quinnipiac, they're garbage too. Look, just a moment ago, not a moment, I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago, they got Harris at +6 in Pennsylvania, right here. It's not Morning Consult. Where was it? I forgot where it was. Basically, Quinnipiac put Kamala Harris at like +5, +6, Mass INC, right here. There we go. Quinnipiac. Do you really think? Look, I'm a Harris supporter. Okay, I'm simping for Harris. Okay, I'm a Harris supporter. But do you guys really believe Kamala Harris is +6 in Pennsylvania? I mean, Quinnipiac is another 3-star pollsters. I'm just saying, like, all these quote-unquote 3-star pollsters, they're full of crap. I think they're just full of crap. And the real truth is Harris is ahead. Kamala Harris is ahead, but she's not ahead by 6 points. She's not ahead. She's not down in Florida by 14 points. Like that's incomprehensible. That's literally incomprehensible. But nevertheless, I'm gonna tell you why Kamala Harris is pretty much winning by a landslide, and it's pretty simple. If you take a look at the news bar scrolling across your screen right now, there are several news I would like to go through with y'all that I believe each one cuts a little slice from the Trump's cake and put it into the pocket of Kamala Harris, which you will think is a small piece. But I can tell you, all of those pieces will add up. And they will add up into a Kamala Harris blue wave landslide. Now let's take a look. Let's do a recall at what happened during the primaries, the Republican primaries, where Nikki Haley went against Donald Trump. As you guys know, Haley's supporters are flocking to Kamala Harris and are dumping Trump like mad. Now, let's compare these results with the result of the 2020 election between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. Now, look, I'm saying at this juncture during the Republican primaries, most Haley voters are leaning towards Trump than they are leaning to Harris. And I think this was way before Harris was even a thing. Right? This was when Joe Biden was running, or if I remember correctly, this was the case. Right? So pretty much this 150,000 votes that you're seeing here in the Florida primaries between Donald Trump and Nikki Haley, I mean, realistically, like I would say 100K of them, probably at least 90 to 100K of them are pretty much in Trump's bucket if it was a Trump versus Biden race, right? I think we can probably accept precepts like this. I don't find them ridiculous. And if you sum up these votes, they come up to about 1 million plus votes, and you compare that with the size of votes in the 2020 election, which was about 11 million. I think it's more than 11 million, about 11 million. So what we're seeing here in the size of the votes as reflected in the actual election versus the primary is about a 10 times increase. So in reality, is it 10 times? I think it's a 5 times increase. Sorry, it's a 5 times increase, right? Because we have the factor Joe Biden will be getting some votes too. So there's a 5 times increase. So, I mean, let's just do a very simple assumption. I'm not saying these numbers are exact numbers, but let's just say it's a 5 times increase, right? So this number would be about 5 times. If this was a real election, right? If this was a real election, Nikki Haley would be getting about, well, that's a pretty nice number, 777,800 votes. And Donald Trump will be getting 911,424 times 5, which is actually underperformance. It would probably be better to be times 6. Let's try that number again. 911,424 times 6. Right, that's about the number of votes. Still less, but that's about the number of votes. And remember, the other part goes to Biden, so we can't multiply that by 12. We can only do it by 6. If we run the number again, 155,560 times 6. If this was a real election, Haley would be getting slightly less than 1 million votes, and Donald Trump would be getting way over 5 million votes, which is about right. And in this election, I would expect turnout between both Donald Trump's turnout and Kamala Harris's turnout are likely to see an increase. Maybe not as much as some news outlets would make it seem, but I'm quite convinced that the turnout will be higher. So if this was a real election, if we're going to sample how many total Haley voters are there in Florida, I mean, I'm just using Florida as an example, right? Other states, same logic, but I'm using Florida as an example because this is very important. Okay, let's go back to y'all. I'm telling y'all this election isn't close at all. Okay? And 933,000. Look, if only 10% of Haley voters, like the real Haley voters, if only 10% of them now view Harris as more favorable to Trump, only 10%, we're not doing like massive, huge cuts to Trump's voter base by like 33% or what, just 10%. You know what happens? A 10% swing, right? Let's do simple math. If the math was 50-50, that means there's a 0% difference between them. But if it's 60-40, now there's 20% difference between them, like 20 points. So a 10% flip is a 20% in addition to the gap between the two candidates, right? So let's understand that logic. If only 0.2% of the 933,000 real Nikki Haley voters turn to Harris, guess how many more votes she's gonna get? 186,000 more votes. In terms of differential, it's not more votes, it's the differential between Harris and Trump shrinks by 186,000 votes. Now, these are, I would say, pretty fair numbers. You say if you think it's an exaggeration, well, fine. But let's take a look at the actual difference between Joe Biden and Donald Trump in Florida. Again, I'm using Florida as an example. I'm not saying Florida will definitely flip blue. I'm just using it as an example. Right? We'll just cut off the hundreds places. We'll just focus on thousands, right? So it's 187 over here. If we're going to take 5668 minus 5297, you get this number, minus 187. You get 184,000 more votes that Kamala Harris has to cover to flip Florida blue. And again, you may say, well, that's still a lot of votes. And I agree, that's still quite a lot of votes. But I'm not fazed by it at all. Because, look, how many Haitian voters are there in Florida? By estimates, about 500,000. Now, of course, those 500,000, a lot of them are already accounted in Biden's vote anyway. But let's say there are a large proportion of them who weren't interested in voting in the 2020 election cycle, but after Donald Trump made those enraging comments about them, let's say that gave an additional 50,000, right? Or maybe let's make the number whole, right? Let's make it 84. Right, out of the 5 million, a lot of them weren't interested in voting, and this time around, just a percentage of them are willing to vote. And out of the 100,000 remaining, you're going to ask me, okay, then where is she going to get remaining votes? Let's say she gets another 25,000 from the independents who used to be not happy about both Biden and Trump because they think these are old candidates. They don't want all these old people in, right? We deduct another 25,000 from young voters. The massive turnout that Harris is expected to be having, the overturning of Roe v. Wade pissing off so many women, and we're seeing women's number changing, right? And we're seeing Kamala Harris actually booming amongst boomer men. Like, we've looked at the statistic the other day. She's actually winning, starting to win, if not winning by election night, boomer votes in a lot of the states. And I mean, that could be another 50K on her ballot, right? We could add another 20K for the millennials. And by the time you know it, guys, I'm not saying this will happen. That is what I'm not saying that will happen. But what I am saying is a very simple fact. When people tell me things like, well, if you do the math, with 5668 minus 5297, well, that's 371,000 outstanding gap between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump, at least between Biden and Trump. Are you telling me all 500,000 of those Haitian voters never voted, and all they're going to do this time is going to only vote Kamala Harris? That's not what I'm saying at all. Because the fact is, you don't need a massive wave of one voting bloc to win the election. You just need to take a little slice of one demographic, another small slice of another demographic, another small slice of another demographic, and you just chop the voting block 50K at a time, 25K at a time, another 10K, another 20K, another 70K, and before you know it, you flip the state. And I've repeated this ad nauseum. When you take a look at a state that seems quote unquote lost, you have to remember Texas, a state that is we used to consider deep red, has shifted across election cycle by way more than 5 points almost every election cycle without any Democratic candidate really campaigning there with the interest to flip it. And you just think, well, what happened there? You know, are people, why are the Texans suddenly going to, blue? But the thing is, it's not like Texans are one monolithic community, right? Inside Texas, there are Hispanics, there are black people, there are white people, there are the pro-liberty people, there are the pro-democracy people, there are the pro-child care, child protection, pro or against gun law. There are a lot of people in Texas. And all Democrats are doing, it's a very simple strategy. And that is, well, we take 10,000 from the whites, we take another 50,000 from women, we take another 80,000 from the blacks, we take another 20,000 from the Latinos. Then for all those people who are not identified within these groups, we'll take another 20K from the young, and we'll convert some boomers about 15K. And every single slice of the cake eventually adds up to a whole cake. And this is how, again, Democrats weren't campaigning in Texas. At least not that I was aware of. At least not major ones that you could point to and say, this speech cemented Texas's fate to turn blue in the next few election cycle. There was not a single rally. There was not a single campaign. There was not a definitive point where we say, okay, this is the turning point of Texas, right? This is the turning point of Florida. The reason why these states are turning blue, the Kamala Harris strategy is very simple. We're only going to make minor appeals to small communities, but we do it in large quantities across many, many different types of communities. She's gaining appeal amongst Nikki Haley voters. She's gaining appeal with the Cheney types. She's gaining appeal with the Mitt Romney type. She's gaining appeal with the McCain types. She's gaining appeal with a lot of, again, boomer populations, especially old white men. She's winning away old white men, which is Trump's most stable and largest sort of voting bloc. But again, I don't want to call them a bloc because even amongst old white men, they're not like one big bloc. They're different beliefs and different issues, right? And she's winning on about issues only bit by bit, right? She's evening out her lead on economy, according to many polls. In some polls, she's leading economy, and she's catching up with immigration like crazy. Have not deplorable, no way. I think yes way. I appreciate your input, but I'm just saying, the numbers game, we can't look at this as where do the 400,000 votes magically appear? Because people are not one thing. You can't be like, I press this button, I'm going to gain all the white votes. I press this button, I'm going to get all the black votes. It's 1% more black votes, 2% more white votes, 3% more women votes, 4% more men votes, and then now you get like a massive landslide. And this is a game of margins. This is why Harris is so good at it. This is why Trump is not doing well right now. And even the red-leaning polls we went through, some of you missed out, right? Look, this is Atlas Intel's poll of Pennsylvania. Guys, look at this number here. Okay, this is a 3-star pollster. They're red-leaning. Everyone's telling me, no, they're 3 stars, they're reliable. Okay, look at this number. They're saying in Pennsylvania, Donald Trump is winning black vote 60-40. I got nothing to say, right? Like, despite these insane, like absolutely insane polls flooding the market, Kamala Harris is still ahead in aggregate. And again, like when we come back to the map, it's a very simple logic. Kamala Harris making weight. Now, I think it was recently that Howard Stern, a very well-known podcaster, endorsed Kamala Harris. And I think he's got 10 million hits on Spotify every month, and 71%, or was it 87% of his listeners are men? I mean, you will think, okay, well, maybe that will convince 1/10 of his total viewers to change their mind. 1 million, you spread them across the swing states, you spread them across the country, doesn't matter that much. Okay, well then, for a state like let's say Georgia, where Joe Biden won by 11,800 votes, let's say the swing in this state due to that little endorsement, it's only 10,000. Like we counted before, a 10,000 swing from one candidate to the other is a 20,000 counts of vote in differential. You know what that means? If the reverse happened, right? If the endorsement of Trump came in and put 10,000 into Trump's hands from Biden, Biden would have lost he wouldn't have lost the election, but he would have lost Georgia. And if it was the other way around, like his endorsement is for Kamala, she will be winning not by 11,780 votes. She will be winning 31,780 votes. And that is almost 3 times the margin. Again, this is a game of margins. This is not a game of, it's not a game about we're going to rack up an insane number of votes. We're going to rack up all the black votes. We're going to sweep all the black votes into our pocket. We're going to sweep all the white votes into our pocket. Not at all. This is not how the game works. It's a game of margins. And I'm saying Kamala Harris right now, she's playing this game so well. Oh, by the way, have not something happened to YouTube chat and your chat didn't show up? I didn't do anything. Thank you for your thank you for your chat. Again, when we take a look at the hurricane response, right, and how DeSantis denied how many million was it of hurricane, not just hurricane, disaster response aid in terms of monetary support to Florida, and how that has impacted Florida today during Hurricane Helene, right? And the fact that Project 2025, if you take a look at the scrolling black bar across your screen, the fact that a lot of Floridians are slowly waking up to the fact that if Project 2025 is to happen, because if they let Donald Trump win, they're going to cut FEMA. They're going to cut FEMA and federal disaster aid. Do you think that's what Floridians want at this point in time? This crisis is so beneficial to Kamala Harris. I mean, we all talk about October surprises. This is the surprise, because not only does it expose a critical flaw in the Republican way of thinking, it also opened up an old wound by Donald Trump. And that is the fact that when crisis hits, and it did during his presidency, he was unable to handle a crisis. And you know what that crisis is? What that crisis was? It was COVID-19. And that has so much link to do with the economy. Chantry Wilkins, love you, man. Love you. Thank you for coming into the stream. We got 54 viewers here. Thank you all for still being in. And this is my point, right? All these little things. Someone could be out here really needing the disaster aid. You don't know, because we're here sitting in our comfortable room where we're talking about things. Some people are desperate, right? And when we give them the facts, the simple fact that, well, the GOP wants to cut federal aid, wants to cut federal disaster aid. Project 2025 promises to eliminate FEMA from the government. What is your response? And remember, last time Donald Trump was the man in the House who is supposed to be the alpha that would destroy any crisis, guess what happened? He botched the COVID response. Hundreds of thousands of needless deaths of innocent people, families forever torn apart because he was ignorant and incompetent in his actions. And this disaster, this October surprise, it's going to put even more votes. It's going to put another 30K, 20K swing into Harris's hand. That's another 40 to 60K differential covered, right? Like, again, like the Haley voters, they're already covering so much, right? This number over here is actually like 6 times, right? Let's run the number back, right? Because the size, if you combine these two and you multiply by 6, you roughly get this number, right? Because in the beginning, when this primary was happening, Kamala Harris was not the Democratic candidate, right? So this was basically, you could say, nearly all Haley voters are Trump voters, but they have differences with Trump. So if this was Trump versus Biden, as it was back then, but now Trump versus Harris, the number of real Haley voters who did not bother to vote because it was a primary would just do a simple math, right? 560 times 6. Right? This is the number of actual Haley voters, Haley-minded voters, shall I say, in Florida. Just like the number will be about 5.4 million something for Donald Trump. You add those together, that's slightly more than what you get in the election for 2020, which makes absolute sense since voters are turning out higher for both parties as the time goes on, right? So if only 10%, just 10% of Haley voters are more convinced of Harris than they were convinced of Biden and or Trump, that is a 20% swing. That's a 20% increase in the coverage of votes. This, if that's the case, this in itself is the cover. It's gonna chop at the 300 something thousand lead that Donald Trump had in 2020 election in Florida to about like what 150,000, and then like I said, the Haitian voters is gonna cut it by another 50, right, or maybe 75. We don't know, right? The boomers, the white boomers, they're gonna cut it by another 50. Women gonna cut it by another 100, and then young voters gonna cut it by another 20, and then some of the hurricane response gonna cut it by another 20. The thing is, you're chipping away at the lead, and before you know it, it's flipped. This is how elections work. This is not a what you call it. This is not a a lottery strike where if you miss by one number, you miss the whole thing. No, this is a game of margins. And once again, we haven't counted the Liz Cheney times, right? Cheney times minus another 10. Like I'm not saying Kamala Harris will win Florida by 100,000 votes, right? This is just a illustration. When you ask me this question of where is she gonna how is she gonna cover the 300 something thousand, almost 400,000 votes that was missing from Biden against Trump in 2020, this is my answer. My answer is she's gonna get 10K here, 20K there, 50K here, another 80K here. Sooner than you realize, it's over. And if this logic applies to Florida, then let's take a look at North Carolina, right? Let's look at North Carolina. Well, over here, if we take a look at the presidential election in North Carolina, oh, sorry for the burp. I just ate dinner. Sorry. Take a look at North Carolina. It's actually one of the closer states between Biden and Trump, right? I think the difference, let's pull our calculator. It's a 775 minus 268 4292. So the difference in the votes is less than 75,000 votes. And then we'll take a look at the Haley's performance. Well, I mean, in this case, we wouldn't even have to multiply anything. Like, she already has... Oops. Sorry. I just played a video. But sorry about that. Let's go back. You look at the difference between the two. 75,000, right? And you look at Haley's votes. 250,000. And these are still undercounts. Remember, these are undercounts because the real election, Donald Trump got 2.75 million votes, but in the primary he got less than 800K. So these responses, the 250,000, is a undercount of Nikki Haley votes, and all Kamala has to do on top of what Biden did is to cover less than 75,000 votes in difference. I mean, just the fact that Nikki Haley voters are going overwhelmingly, I mean, I can say overwhelmingly as in like 55 to 45% towards Kamala Harris, and which is overwhelming, because if you expect something like 70 to 30, I would say those are crazy numbers. Even I wouldn't go as far to say that. 75,000 votes, that's nothing. Like one single voting block could cover that very easily. And again, what about the Cheney types? What about the Romney types? What about the McCain types? What about the people who are pro-democracy, who views democracy as their top issue? What about the fact that Kamala Harris is slowly winning on the issue of economy? What about the fact that Donald Trump is losing his support on immigration? What about the fact that North Carolina, I think, has abortion on their ballot, and all the women, the suburban women who are pissed by J.D. Vance? Like, what about all these things added together? You think that wouldn't cover 75,000 votes? I mean, if we go to the electoral map, if we go back to the map, if she wins North Carolina, which is the only state, well, not the only state, which is the state Biden wasn't able to win, what are you going to tell me? Are you telling me she's not winning Georgia, the state that Biden won? Are you telling me she's not going to crush the blue wall? Are you going to tell me she's not going to win Arizona and Nevada? And in this case, I'm saying if this landslide happens, we have look, I'm saying this, okay? We have about a 30% chance of flipping Florida. And this will be 349 electoral votes landslide. I mean, this would be a landslide. And this not just could happen. Again, if you look at why people are saying the election is quote unquote closed, it's because you're looking at garbage pollsters like Atlas Intel, who says 60% of black people in Pennsylvania support Trump as compared to 40% of Harris. Right? Like, these are the 3-star pollsters, the maxed out credibility pollsters, who are saying things like this. Why would they post something like this? Like, what's the point of this? Do they expect anyone to believe the polls of these results? I mean, it would be insane. You look at the Florida poll by New York Times Siena College, plus 14 for Trump. Look, they're saying, New York Times, another 3-star pollster, by the way, 3 stars according to 538. This is why people are saying the election is close, because 538, because 3-star pollster. I used to be in that crowd, okay? I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt, okay? I used to be a little fanboy for the 3-star pollsters. But you look at this and you go, do we really think Florida is more red than Alabama? Do we really think Florida is more red than Oklahoma, than Louisiana, than Utah, than Montana, and maybe not Tennessee, but definitely Kentucky, Kansas, and Missouri? Do you really think these are the numbers you expect? Trump plus 14? Black people supporting Trump 60 to 40 against Kamala Harris? Like, do you think, and even with these polls, Kamala Harris is still winning in the aggregate? Like, think about it. The election is not at all close by any rational and sane metric. The Republicans are flocking to Kamala Harris like there's no tomorrow. The polls, factoring all these garbage 3-star polls, she's still winning. And again, like, if we go back to just the Florida map, let's just focus on Florida. Because even if Florida doesn't flip, if Florida even comes to like 1.5 points, it's gonna be a landslide. Again, let's take a look at Florida, right? Let's do another round of Florida, because we got viewers coming in. We got 80 viewers right now. We take a look at Florida. Biden lost. We'll save the decimal points, right? We'll save the ones after the 1,000th place. We got 5668 minus 5297. Okay, that's 371. You look at Haley voters. We did the math just now. if you sum up the two and assume they are going to Trump, that's about times 6. That's 1/6 of the actual votes that went to Trump. So if we just take the primaries, we can calculate how many Haley-minded voters are there. Right? Remember this 371. We don't forget this. 250,838 times. No, this is sorry. This is North Carolina. I saw the numbers. Like, wait, what? There isn't that many. Florida is here. Florida 155,560 times 6. Right? Let's give a very, very meek and measly advantage. Let's say at the time, this was during Biden's time, pretty much virtually all of the Nikki Haley voters are Trump voters anyway after the fact of the primary, because they're definitely not going to vote for Joe Biden. Mostly not going to vote for Joe Biden. And upon transition to Kamala Harris and the debate and all the debacle Trump has, let's say only 10%. After all of that, after the public endorsement of Nikki Haley voters for Harris raising 7 digits, or at least they plan to for the Harris campaign, let's say all of that only counts for a 10% swing. A 10% swing is a 20% cover in the differential. So when you multiply that by 0.2, again, these are very conservative numbers, 186, right? The previous number was 371. 371 minus 186. Just the Haley effect alone, we're cutting the differential by half. Guys, like, people keep asking, we're gonna get the 400,000 votes from. Well, that's cutting half, right there. And we're only factoring 10% change. We're not saying like this massive 30% change or whatever else, right? There's it. We cut that in half. What more? What excuses do you have? You're gonna give another 50 something away from the young voter turnout. You pissed off women by huge margins. You white men, old white men who are pro-democracy, who are pro-freedom, leaving the GOP. You got boomers leaving GOP because, again, they're the pro-democracy types. And then you got the Haitian immigrants being pissed off, 500,000 of them living in Florida. And then you got, I don't know what else you got. You got black people. You got Helene Response, how they're pissed off about Helene Response. You got all these other, and what Howard Stern endorsing, and what he's got 10 million hits on Spotify every month, and 71% of them are male. Right, losing. Let's say he loses another 12K. Right, like, before you know it, he went from 371,000 ahead to 112,000 down. I'm not saying this will happen. Look, don't put words in my mouth. I'm not saying this will happen. I'm not saying she's gonna flip for that. But the people who are telling me, look, it's completely impossible. There are not enough votes in the entirety of the independents. Oh, we didn't count the independents, right? That could be another 20 something thousand. Like, seriously, like, you think about this, that they're telling me, okay, there aren't that many independents who will make up the 300 something thousand, 370,000. Even if there are, not all of them is going to show up and turn out for Harris. Like, a lot of them is going to either not show up or go for Trump, right? But it's not the independent voters. It's that Trump is bleeding support. He is actively bleeding support. And that is the key thing. He's not doing well with his own base as compared to 2020. But Harris is doing better to her base compared to Biden in 2020. And this, again, like, when Trump voters are leaving, they are already adding on to the double by leaving, because that's less vote for Trump and more vote for Harris. And on top of the fact that Harris is gaining upon her own base, and on top of the fact that independents are coming to Harris, like, this election, I predict, is not going to be close at all. And we forgot Liz Cheney. We keep forgetting the Cheneys. I mean, all these garbage posters, again, like, now there's like 90 something viewers right now. It's going to burst to 100 viewers concurrently. Say something in the chat so I know what I can answer from you. If you got queries, you got questions, you want to know. Garbage poll. Donald Trump winning 60% of black people in Pennsylvania. right? Putting him +3 in Pennsylvania. Oh, surprises! You really think 3-star pollster Atlas Intel is right in this case? Florida +14 for Donald Trump according to the New York Times Siena College poll. Really? +14 more red than Oklahoma, more red than Arkansas. What a tad less red than Tennessee, more red than Utah, than Montana, than Nebraska minus Omaha City. Like, what are these people smoking? Just what are these people smoking? Like, Biden only lost by 3.3% or something. Was it? Let's go back to the Biden map. Okay? Florida 51.2 minus 47.9. He lost by Biden lost by 3.3%. They are not saying Kamala Harris will lose by 1%. They're not saying Kamala Harris will lose by 2%. They're saying Kamala Harris will lose by 14 points swing. And this is Mr. New York Times Siena 3-star poll on 538. Like, do you guys really think in your good conscience? Use your own intellect. Tell me, can you sleep at night thinking that Florida is +14 for Donald Trump? Like, does your conscience hurt? I don't care who you support. Can you tell that to your kids with making a straight face? Because I can't believe that. I'm calling it. If Florida turns out to be +14 Donald Trump, I'm deleting this channel. I'm calling it. Otherwise, can New York Times Siena poll delete their pollster registration on 538? Because it's ludicrous. How about the Senate, Congress? Holland P. Look, I think the Democrats have a very, very good chance at the Senate. I will cover the Senate. Not today because we are covering quite a lot of material. But thank you, Howard P. Look, the situation is just ridiculous. Kamala Harris the election is not close. Look, the election is not close if you guys go out and vote, okay? If everyone voted as they think they're voting now, the election is not close. Because, first of all, look at how biased the poll is. Like, can you believe... Look, and even by these standards, if we go to Pennsylvania, look at how they're flooding the aggregates. But if we go to Pennsylvania, right? She's still winning. Look at all these garbage polls. Insider advantage +2 Trump. Patriot polling. Patriot polling doesn't even have any. Oh my God. Trafalgar. Like all these garbage pollsters flooding the polls. And what was it? I think Atlas Intel +3. There's 2 separate polls. Despite the fact that they're doing this, and previously Rasmussen was found to be coalescing with the Trump administration, we all know what that means. I think they own insider advantage. Do they? I think they own insider advantage, or was it active vote? I think they also own these other ones, which 538 did not remove. Despite all these garbage pollsters flooding in the aggregate, she's still winning Pennsylvania. And she's winning Pennsylvania. If she's winning Pennsylvania, she's winning the blue wall. Pretty much. And she already won the election. This is the base model we're going on. Oh, someone subscribed. Wow, that was loud. Who subscribed? Mary Gamak. The subscription sound is very loud. Sorry about that. I didn't know. I just set it up like a few moments ago. I'll change that in the next stream. That surprised me for a bit, but let's go back. This is the base model we are looking on. The base model suggests that Kamala Harris is going to win the election. Any additional notes we make on our news today is on how much more can Harris win. How much more of a landslide can Harris make as a statement of the impact she has, of the statement of how much Americans no longer want Donald Trump rambling as a incompetent leader of the most powerful nation on the planet in a shaky time like ours, right? And this is the base model, and this base model number is the base, right? It's the base to the base. The next base model is this. This is Biden's performance. This is the next base model. Can we all agree Harris is going to perform Biden? Like, who do you think is a better candidate, Biden or Harris? I'm just asking you. Who do you think? Do you think Donald Trump's condition was better in 2020 or in 2024? So if you say Harris is above Biden and Trump is no longer himself, you have to say this is our base model. Because otherwise, what are you saying? Just what are you saying? I don't understand what you're trying to say. Because you are against your own logic. Unless you say, Biden is more preferable to Kamala and Trump is increasing his mental capacity, well, then you are just deluded. Like you're crazy. And in this case, like I said, she's gonna take North Carolina. I'm calling it. She's probably gonna take North Carolina. Okay. And if we go back to the map, we go back to North Carolina. Sorry, my stream is lagging a bit because my computer is struggling with all these inputs. What, Biden lost by 74,000 votes. We did the math just now. And look at how many Haley voters are there in just North Carolina alone. Right? You look at a 250,000. And these aren't even representative of the total size of actual Haley-minded people in North Carolina. Are you telling me that Haley voters, when Biden was in the race, they're not going to start flocking to Kamala now that Kamala is in the race? And they're like, what? 750,000 of them in actual numbers. Are you telling me we can't pull a 5% from Biden to Harris? That the change won't kick 5% in just Haley support? I'm not talking about the Cheney support. I'm not talking about all these other people. Right? I'm just talking about Nikki Haley. Only Haley. That's it. I'm not talking about the hurricane response. No, just Haley. How about just Haley? Are you telling me North Carolina is going to still remain red with that margin? Like, if you agree that Kamala Harris is performing Biden level, and you agree that she's got endorsement that no one has ever gotten from the Republican side, and you acknowledge that Kamala Harris, thank you for the sub, who is it? Larry Buckus. Okay, look, sometimes I've problems with I've problems with pronunciation of names, so sorry for that. I seem to be dreaming. Bro, betting websites. Okay, Chinedu Ogbonna. I hope I didn't butcher your name. Do you know how betting website vote? Play. Betting website plays at this, basically, if it's 50-50. Look, do you know Nate Silvers, who is the owner of 538, is part of Poly Markets? Do you know that, Mr. Ogbonna? I can assume your gender to be male, right? Did you know that? I bet you didn't know that. I'm telling you now. I'm not trying to make you look stupid. I'm trying to have a civil conversation with you. I'm giving you some information that you may not know. So I'm telling you right now. And you know what makes the House win the most? Is to position the bet as 50-50, because either way the House can't lose, and when it's 50-50, that gets the most gain for the House. I can't explain the whole thing to you, Mr. Ogbonna, but that's, if you want to know about how it works in the betting markets, that's what they want. They want a close race, and that's what they're selling you, because Nate Silver also owns 538, and he's all part of, I think it was a Peter Schill. I think I pronounced that name wrong. They are in cahoots in Poly Market, and if you're in it, you're being fooled, because they're gonna make money off of you. And this is what I'm telling you. I'm trying to convince you that's the case. Right, exactly. If you know he has financial interest in making the race close, I'm just posing a very simple question. Why should I trust him? And that's, I'm not saying everything he does is completely untrustworthy from this point on. I'm just saying, if Poly Market and 538 stands to win by making the race as close as it can, why wouldn't they? Because if Trump wins, well, they're going to lose money still. They're not really going to lose money. They're not going to earn as much because Harris is still ahead. But at least Nate Silver can come out and say, you know what? I predicted Trump will win anyway. Right? But if Harris wins and the Trump people loses, he's gonna reap the wealth from their hands. So it's a win-win for Nate Silver. Nate Silver wants the race to be closed because it benefits him. It's very simple. Gordon Beason with a Harris win, America returns to great nation with respect. Yes, and look, Mr. Ogbana, this is the type of conversation you know for a fact. You wouldn't have this in a Trump stream, right? We Harris voters, we want a nation of respect, of civil discourse, even if we disagree, even if it feels like you didn't get the facts right. I'm still respectful of you. I address you by your surname. I address you properly. I don't call you stupid. I mean, this is the type of nation I want. Elemental, Poly market got swayed with a couple of floods. I'm not gonna say it's intentional. I'm just gonna say, look, they have a vested interest in making the race appear close. Wild heart, sure, there are no bots in here attempting to sway the uneducated or the intentional idiots. I'm pretty sure. Wild hearts, look, I'm just saying, I can't say that on the stream because I don't want to get demonetized, but thank you for saying it for me. Hey, and Edwin Legat, thank you for subscribing. Oh my god. Damn, like your names are kind of difficult for me to pronounce. I bet you guys can't pronounce my name either. I'm not gonna tell what my name is because you guys can't do it. Hearts, thank you for the reacts. Oh, I love these. Let's get a party here. Again, like for the viewers that are just tuning in, there's 100 of you right now. Like I'm saying, I'm just gonna give a very brief recap. Look, the race is not close. It's only close if you follow places with vested interest, like poly markets, like 538, which is basically a poly market lackey because Nate Silver is involved in both. And if you follow these garbage, I can't hold my tongue back. These are garbage posts. How can anyone look at these and still believe Atlas Intel is anywhere near credible? I went through this 3 times in the stream, right? Just for the new viewers. Donald Trump, Atlas Intel, a 3-star poster on 538 against 538 is saying Donald Trump is winning in Pennsylvania 60% of black votes. Look, the number isn't even as high in Florida in the Emerson poll in white people. Even in white people, was 58% in Florida. In one of the Emerson poll, Atlas Intel is saying in Pennsylvania, black people are 60% for Donald Trump. Like, are you guys serious? Like, no way in hell. The active vote poll. No, active vote. I think it was either active vote or Insider Advantage. Is owned by Rasmussen. And Rasmussen was proven to be coalescing with the Trump administration in posting polls, in basically meddling with polls. And I don't mean as Republican bias. I mean they were in cahoots, is what I'm saying. They were exposed for that. Like 60%. Like even the whites, look, they're saying the whites are only 53% voting for Trump. And they're saying the blacks are 60%. We're like, what? Like, dude, if I was Atlas Intel, even if this was the number I got, I would never post these numbers. Because I know they're wrong. Like, no way in hell is this the number that we are to be looking at. Like, no freaking way, guys. And again, you look at Florida. Where was Florida? I had Florida just a moment ago. Okay, let's go back. I'm showing this newer because I know I'm repeating myself, but there are new viewers coming. I gotta show them the proof, right? We can't just be talking heads. New York Times, Siena College, plus 14 in Florida. Wild Hearts. Tell me, I know you live in Pennsylvania. You don't live in Florida. Tell me, do you think Florida is redder than Alabama? Do you think, okay, which do you think is redder? Okay, Arkansas or Florida? New York Times, Siena College is telling you not Arkansas. not Utah, not Montana, maybe Tennessee, but not Kentucky and not Louisiana, certainly not Missouri or Kansas. Like, or can you believe this? These are 3-star pollsters on 530, and the reason why Nate Silver is doing this is to make the race as close as possible, is to quickly bump up Trump's rating and make it as close as 50% as possible, so he can act as the House and win big. There's a financial interest in it. It's like, these are, again, like I'm saying, like, guys, you can't just believe everything you're told. You can't believe everything you're told, guys. Like, it's, people have vested interest in the election, especially when gambling is involved. The moment where Polymarket and all these other gambling sites come on, I already know they're rigging the numbers. Because that's what gambling is about. You will never beat the House. Guys, if you think you're going to beat the House, you're not. Okay? The only person who has ever beaten the House is Donald Trump because he bankrupted a casino. I have no idea how he did that. How do you bankrupt a casino? Guys, Donald Trump was the only man in history to ever beat the odds against himself. Texas, look, Texas is another state where I say, you know what? I'm not saying it's going to go blue in this election cycle. There's a probability. I'll put it no more than 20%. I'll say Texas has a less than 20% of going blue this election cycle. But look, the way it's been trending rapidly blue for the past how many election cycles, look, you know what? I only intended to do 1 hour today, and the stream is already 1 hour. How about this? Let's do Texas. Let's do Texas. I'm going to run a poll right now. I'm going to go to my YouTube live tab. I'm going to run a poll right now because I really want to see you guys putting in your opinion. Where do I add a poll? Let's go. Start a poll. Run through Texas numbers. Okay? Yes or no? Start poll. There we go. There's a poll there. Tell me how you feel. Are we going to run through Texas number right now in the stream? I'm prepared to do it. I did it before. You guys tell me. Run through the numbers or not run through the numbers? We got one person saying no. I don't want to see the Texas numbers. We got another person saying we want to see the Texas numbers. Right? We got 3 votes. You guys want to see some Texas numbers? Because I'm not afraid. We can go through the Texas numbers right now. You know, I'm gonna pull up the page. I'm gonna close these 2 tabs. I'm gonna pull up the page right now. Okay. New York Times 2020 election map. Okay. This is the extremely detailed one. We're gonna take a look at the numbers. We're gonna go to Texas because I think you guys want to see that. I already went through this in great detail in yesterday's stream, but let's do it again because we got 100 live viewers. I don't want to disappoint y'all. I don't want to waste your time. Okay? Let's go to Texas. Let's zoom in to Texas. This is Texas. There we go. Okay? Here's the tab. This says 2020 results, and this is changed from 2016. Okay? This is a change from 2016. This is the 2020 results. Okay, I'm going to go back to my live tab and see if y'all were interested. 10 votes, 80% of you. Yeah, look, Nick, you're so correct. You're in Jacksonville, Florida. Okay, actually, I would say Jacksonville, it's not very representative of Florida because you are kind of in a blue area. Like, it's not the bluest of areas, but it's a pretty blue area. But you're right. But even in Biden's time, there were a lot of Trump signs. And the fact that Harris people don't really put signs out, you know, like us Democrats were like, we're gonna vote at a ballot box, but we're not gonna put up signs. Come on. But the fact that you're seeing so many signs in Florida, that's crazy. Yeah, DeSantis refused government fund before. What the hell's wrong with him? You are right. That's you see the scrolling news bar over here. How many was it? 100 million? No, I don't know what's wrong with him. You ask me, how would I know? Another person subscribed. Who is it? Elemental, thank you for your subscription. Look, okay, let's go through Texas. Okay, let's not waste your time. There's 120 of you. Let's not waste your time. Okay. Okay, one more map to bring up. One more map I have to bring up is this map. It's from New York Times, the same source. I'm not messing up the sources here. But even if it's not the same source, I don't think they'll post different results. So I think that I'm lagging. I'm gonna close off these tabs. We don't need this Atlas Intel shows out here. We don't need them. I got another news I forgot to cover is that Trump plans rally in solid blue states, which is a bad move 3 weeks before election night. We got so much to go through today. Okay, look, this is Texas. Okay, what you're seeing now is the 2020 results, but let's see what the changes from 2016. Okay, so look, the border areas are going in red like crazy. You see this? You see this? And the rest of Texas is going blue like there's no tomorrow. And you think, you know what? I'm gonna do like quick math. Maybe it's about the same. It's not. Guys, I'm gonna give y'all some heavy hitter news. Your first 8 signs were stolen. Oh no. These Trump people be mad. Okay, look at Texas. If this intimidates you, you haven't taken a closer look. Because this entire border strip has virtually no votes. Virtually no votes. Because if we go to 2020 results, remember this red strip over here? Okay, look at the counties. Culberson, 400 votes. Was it 1,000? Not 800 votes, okay? Pecos County, less than 5,000. Less than 15,000. Valverde. Terrell, not even 500 votes. Like, all these, like, red areas, like, what the hell? Edwards County, no votes, right? There's some larger place, like, even Uvalde has, like, barely over 10,000 votes. These red strips across the border, like these red places across the border, you see like these massive changes, influx of red, has no damn votes. These places got no votes. Land doesn't vote, people do. Okay, there are some other larger counties like El Paso, right? Well, El Paso, I think the it's blocked here. It's El Paso. It's got, you look at these on, wow, 250,000 votes. That's a lot. You got Cameron County over here. More than 100,000 votes. You got Hidalgo, 200,000 votes. I think it was another one, Webb County, quite many votes. But like that's it. Like they're like maybe like 5. I can't really find an exception here. Like that's like 4. It's not even 5. There's 4. Actually, only 3. Only 3 of them really crosses 100,000 in total number of votes. But guess what? Let's take a look at Dallas. Look at how many votes are here. Look at how many votes are there in Dallas. That is 900,000 votes in just Dallas. The number of people who voted Biden exceeds the sum of all people living at the borders, no matter who they voted for. So if you're telling me you're worried, you look at the change from 2020 and you're saying, okay, if this change doesn't continue, you know what? If this change continues, Kamala Harris will flip Texas blue. Seriously. If this change is to continue, the border goes redder and the rest of the state goes bluer, she's going to win. Right? You look at this. We will just do Dallas. We'll go one city, one major area by one major area. You will be so shocked. Okay? You'll be so shocked. I was. Okay? This area was plus 5.7. Look at the change. Look at Collin County, plus 13. Plus 13, 2-digit swing. Denton, plus 12. Tarrant County. Okay, now let's swap back. Okay, hold on to your seat because you're going to fall off, okay? You're going to fall off. Dallas, okay? Look at how many votes are there in Dallas County. About 90,000 votes. Look at how many are there in Tarrant. 800,000 votes. Look at Denton, 400,000 votes. Look at Collin, 500,000 votes. I mean, all these other places, insane. Like Alice County, we go back to the change, right? This entire large greater Dallas, are going blue. Like, holy cow. Look at these huge populations, and each county of them adds up to the entire border. And they're swinging blue like crazy. This is from 2016 to 2020. From Hillary Clinton out of anyone. Unpopular candidate. Like, do you guys see that? Do you guys see what I'm talking about? And that is just Dallas. Look at Houston. Look at Houston, okay? How many votes are there in Houston? 1.62 million votes in just Harris County, Texas, and it's plus 13 Biden as a result. Look at all these other surrounding areas. Fort Bend. Look at Montgomery. You look at Liberty County. You look at all these Galveston. Right? You go back to the map. They're all going red. Look at Brazoria. Right? Look at Fort Bend. Look at Waller. Look at Montgomery. They're all going blue. They're all going freaking insanely blue. And this is, again, this Greater Houston. By the way, just the Dallas area, Greater Dallas going blue offsets the entire border strip going red plus some more. And then you got Houston, which is massive. Then you look at Austin, plus 45 Biden. Dude, Travis County, which is where Austin is in, is bluer than some places in California. Think about it. Austin, 435,000 votes for Biden against 161 in Trump. Horrendous numbers. Shambolic numbers. And you look at all these neighboring areas. Williamson County, another 300,000 votes. You look at Guadalupe County, another 70,000. Another Como County, 70,000. All these areas around Austin. All these areas. You look at the change from Austin. Whole place going blue. The entire, there's 2 rings around Austin all going blue. You're going to send Baxter County with San Antonio, right? You look at the changes around it. Medina, Baxter, again, Como County. We take a look at the population centers. Look at Baxter County, right? Where they always Como County. Look at Kendall County. All these votes, a massive amount of. Look at how many votes are there around these perimeters, the suburbs, the urban second ring of urban center, right? We go rings and rings out. You get into suburbs. The suburbs are all going blue. Look at all these faraway suburbs. Look at all these this entire map is radically going blue. This is from Hillary Clinton to Joe Biden. This is not from Biden to Harris. This is from Clinton to Biden. Look. Texas is going blue like crazy. And this is bad, bro. These are bad numbers. These are bad, horrendous numbers. For the Republicans, these are not good numbers. The race is not close. Okay, let's look at Florida. A lot of these places, you look at these big cities, right? You look at Miami. They do turn out, right? They do turn out quite red. And then you look at the results, boom. This largest, look, where Miami is, plus 30 Biden. These numbers are crazy. I'm saying, I'm not saying Texas will go blue this time. That's not what I'm saying at all. Don't quote me out of context. But look at the amount of people in blue shifting areas and how rapidly blue shifting they are. And you look at all these border areas, they look big, but they don't got votes there. They barely cross, they don't got no votes. And even the places that are on the border, they still end up voting for Biden. Even the places where they're going rapidly red, they're still Biden counties. Seriously. Look at Cameron. They're still Biden. Hidalgo. These are all Starr County, right? These are all El Paso. The plus 35 Biden. Despite the insane red shift, the largest of counties are still either winning for blue or going to win for blue this election cycle if the trend still continues from Biden to Kamala Harris. Like, guys, these are Fox Sparrow. You are so right. Let me give you a kiss. This year could be 2016 in reverse because Donald Trump, he is a deeply, deeply unserious man. And this is my problem. Look, I'm not a Trump supporter, okay? But I can't help but to summon up the little Jesus in me to say, Trump, can you please campaign in Florida and Texas? You know what he's doing right now, guys? You know what he's doing right now? 150 of you here. Love, massive love to all of you. I'm going to give you all some love. Thank you for being here. Thank you for. If you click the subscribe button, you'll get a little notification ping on the stream, and everyone will see you for subscribing. So you might want to try that one out. And if we go back to just news from yesterday, Trump plans rallies in solidly Democratic states. Oh my God! With less than 4 weeks till election day, Trump is scheduled to hold rallies in staunchly Democratic state as a virtually no chance of winning. Okay? Oh, they call it unorthodox. It's designed to focus on area where Democratic policies have failed, quote unquote failed, but it will also keep him away from the small handful of swing states that almost certainly will determine the outcome of the election. This is what Donald Trump is doing right now. Over the next month, Trump has events scheduled in Colorado, California, Illinois, and New York. Okay? President Biden won this state by an average of 20 points in 2020. With his 13-point Colorado win being the closest margin. Oh my God. It's okay. Guys, it's okay. It's all right. Because New York Times Siena poll says Florida is plus 14 Donald Trump. Oh my God. What is he doing, guys? What is he doing? Right, Alcacin, check the line of hurricanes. I'm in Florida. The turnout will be lower. Alcacin, thank you for saying that. And this is the thing. Again, like, I'm not an advocate for Donald Trump. But the thing is, he just keeps doing things that I can't agree with. Like, it's just so bad. Like, I know you guys want to tell me, look, let the opponent dig their own grave. But I can't just sit by because I'm an analyst. I really can't, for however biased I am for Harris. I can't just sit by and watch Donald Trump do these things and not call him out. Okay, sorry for unintentionally helping the opponent because I can't help it. Dude, what you said about hurricane, you are so right. Listen, this is what happens. This is a result of your party hammering the fact that mail-in ballots and early voting is rigged. Guess what? You know what happens when the hurricane hits really hard on election night? Guys, you know what happens? That's going to severely damage Donald Trump's votes in Florida. That's it. You know what? See, this is why you don't make conspiracy theories about mail-in ballots. And because Trump supporters overwhelmingly don't trust mail-in ballots, they're going to vote on election day. And what happens when a hurricane hits hard on election day? People are going to stay home. People aren't going to come out and vote. I'm not going to say all of them won't come out and vote because there are some staunch Trump voters who are going to vote regardless of what. But that's going to cut off so many on-the-fence Trump voters. Because independents who are pro-Trump, who are leaning Trump, are sure as hell not going to risk their lives voting on the ballot. You know, like these... Like, why would Donald Trump make conspiracy theories against mail-in ballots and Kamala Harris is crushing mail-in ballots? You're so right, man, Alcacin. Like, these are bad things. Like, Dems will be, not only will Dems be out in droves on election night, we are already kicking GOP's butts in mail-in ballots because they don't trust mail-in ballots. And hurricane-affected areas will be hit hard with same-day voting, okay? And these are just... why would Trump do this? It's like cutting away his own votes. and how bad he botched COVID response, literally by the thousands, dozens of thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands of his own voters died because of how he mishandled COVID. Like, he's constantly digging his own grave. He wouldn't be losing re-election if he hadn't dug his own grave. If he just keep quiet and let the pandemic response team, which he dissolved, I think he dissolved, right? If he just kept quiet, kept his mouth quiet and let them do it, he wouldn't have lost to Joe Biden. Historically, especially when there's a crisis, it's almost unheard of that the incumbent will lose the re-election. And he did it, he lost. Like, guys, this is crazy. Guys, this is... Don't pour no water on me. Let me burn. Undisputed truth. This is undisputed truth. Trump doesn't care about anything. He's like, you know what? I'm just gonna do me. You guys will do you. He is not planning to win the election. Is what I'm saying. He is not planning to win the election. He's there. He really just wants to retire. Okay. He just doesn't want to go to jail. If the jail threat was not even a thing, I think he would have given up. I think he would have just given up and let Nikki Haley run for the GOP. I honestly think if it's not for the fact that the presidency will shield him, will give him the immunity against his felony charges, which it shouldn't, because why should someone be above the law? But at least in his mind, that's a get out of jail free card if he wins the election. But then you see, like, that's not really gonna motivate you by much. And he's just campaigning all these like worthless places in New York, in California, Illinois, Colorado, and telling people mail-in ballots are cons, are frauds, they're rigged, don't mail-in ballots, and the hurricane's hitting the East Coast like mad, and people in Florida may not even get a very good day, a good weather to vote on voting night, because again, like, hurricanes sometimes unpredictable. All these, and the people he caused, the lives he caused of his own voters for the bad responses in COVID that will carry on today, and the fact that he don't want dead people voting. Most people who die at that age are severely pro-conservative, right? You don't want dead people voting, which is correct. We shouldn't want that, but he's constantly doing things. He's constantly doing things to undermine his own interest. Like, right. I mean, you guys are right. Early voting, exactly. Mar-a-Lago, RW, you're right. And the fact that he just kept telling he's gonna cut taxes for the billionaires. You guys are way on point. You guys are very on point. Let me tell you that. Like, look, I'm okay. I can't say that. I mean, Alcocin, YouTube has some like crazy AI controls. I don't want to piss off the AI overlords. I'll keep my speech clean and non-slanderous. I'll just keep it as factual and as civil as it can. Milton will also affect Tampa and Orlando, which are bluer. That's the thing, because we mail in our ballots, right? We don't rely on same day voting, and that's our advantage. In the red areas, they don't trust mail-in ballots, and they subject themselves to on-the-day events that could cause them trouble in voting. And this is the thing, like Donald Trump, he's constantly fighting against his own interest. And this is why I say the election is not close. Guys, the election is not close. If we go to the map, look, sorry I'm burping because the dinner is just getting digested. If you look at a map, this is Biden's map. Okay, this is Biden's map. The only reason you can tell me this is not happening is that, one, you think Harris isn't doing better than Biden. Two, you don't think Donald Trump is doing worse than he was in 2020. Okay, you need both. If you're flipping on one, she's equal. Right? We follow logic. You need both. If that's what you believe, and even in the case, she can lose a few states. She can lose Georgia. She can lose Arizona. She still wins. She can lose Nevada. In fact, she only has to keep the blue wall. Like, this is do you know how much leeway Harris has in winning election? I'm not saying it's not a close race. I'm not saying it's impossible for her to lose. If you guys don't go out there and vote and became complacent like in 2016, she's going to lose, okay? Trump does what Putin tells him. Look, new evidence of Trump-Putin link was found, okay? Trump is going to California may help down ballot races. I don't know, maybe. Yeah, if some swing small house district, sure. But the thing is, if it's not the president, a lot of those things kind of wouldn't matter, and he's going to jail. You see? That's the problem, because the presidency is the keystone. Gregory Reed, thank you for the subscription. Nathan Hoy, we use logic. Okay, by what logic do you think Donald Trump should be campaigning in California, Colorado, Illinois, and New York? We've got a Trump supporter here, Nathan Hoy. What logic do you think Trump has in going to these places? I'm not attacking you. Look, I'm not attacking you, but since we are not on the side of logic and reason, could you tell me your logic and reason to support Trump's current behavior, which I find rather illogical and incoherent? Did Trump write his internal post? Yes. RW, yes. Rasmussen was found to be coalescing with Donald Trump, and that's why they got taken off of 538. Not completely, because they still got insider advantage. Was it insider advantage or active vote? One of those posts they still own, and they're still on 538. Nathan Hoy, could you respond to my question? Otherwise, I'll just pretend that you're a troll, which is not really a pretense, but I'm not trying to attack you, but if you want to make a claim, you better back it up. And again, like I say, it's not gonna be close, guys. It's not close. Come on, guys. There's 150 of you. I already got 2,000 views racked up from Just Alive. It's not close. Like the polls keep saying it's close. Do you guys want me to sum it up for the fourth time? The garbage poll from what Atlas Intel? I can do it. I can do it again and again until I hit the point home. Let's go to 538. Okay, I will hit the point home as many times as I can to get y'all to see why the aggregate polls, why these polls are just garbage beyond belief. They are garbage beyond belief. Look, for those of you who stuck through the live stream, tell them what we have been through. Okay, we'll take a look at Pennsylvania. We'll go to P. Where's PPP? Right here, Pennsylvania. Look, one of the 3-star pollsters called Atlas Intel. Okay, 538 has them the 5 stars. There we go. Okay, we go to their it's not cross tabs. It cross top line. I don't see that cross tabs. Okay, this is a top line. Where is it? Here we go. This one. Let's zoom in. Can we zoom in? Let's zoom in. Okay, this is their finding. Can we zoom in? Let's go. Okay, they're saying, once again, this is fourth time I'm saying this for all the new viewers. They are saying whites in Pennsylvania are 53.7% for Donald Trump and 45% for Kamala Harris. And at the same time, they are saying blacks are 60% for Donald Trump in Pennsylvania. This is 3-star pollster. This is what's making the aggregate look very close. It could be either way. Like, what? Pardon my little pea brain. What? 60%? Look, Emerson College poll shows like 58% of white men vote for Donald Trump. Okay, even white men in Florida are not as pro-Trump as they say black people in general, including black women, are for Donald Trump in Pennsylvania, according to Atlas Intel. These are the polls. They released 2 polls, +3 for Trump. These are the polls that's making it very close. It's very close. According to who? Atlas Intel? Gosh. Like, what? With two data sets from previous two elections, we're constantly. You're wrong. No, you're wrong because in 2022, Nathan, you're wrong because in 2022, all the pollsters who were accurate by adjusting for 2 to 5% the margin, like you say, predicted the red tsunami, which never happened. Nathan, you're outdated. You might as well cite something from 1984 and tell us Reagan won every state other than Minnesota. Like, it makes no sense. The most recent data shows that these right-wing pollsters are insane. And that's what it is. Varela Alan Joseph, just wondering, what do you think will be a more accurate figure for the polls? Thanks, bro. Thank you so much, brother. I'll give you a heart for that lovely, lovely question. If you guys know who Alan Lichman is, I'm going to write it in the comments. Alan Lichman. I think that's it. That's his name. I think Lichman. Alan Lichman. Put this name into YouTube. He's got 13 keys. I think that beats most polls. He's right for the past 11 elections. He's correct for 44 years. Every single election he's right. And he's saying Kamala Harris will win. And saying the keys are not even close. Nathan, again, you're just dodging the question. They use the same metrics. They use exactly the same metrics. So I don't know what you mean by that. Because if the formula doesn't change and you're saying the result changes, well, clearly the result must change. So I don't like Lichman. Well, look, I'm just going by results, okay? Like he's right most of the time. Lickman. Oh, sorry. Then I must have gotten his name wrong. Thank you, Nick. Yeah, he's very good at predicting the results, and I respect him for that. Not like Nate Silver putting up this garbage post on his 538, which is he's also got 1 foot in the betting website or Polymarket. That's about the most I can say, you know. Insider advantage. And what? Oh, I haven't showed you guys the Florida poll, right? I have showed some of you the early ones, but look at the Florida poll. Okay, look. Nathan Roy. New York Times says Trump is up by 14 points in Florida. By your logic that every pollster is you know, they're undervaluing Trump by what, 2 to 5%. You're saying Donald Trump will be winning by plus 20 in Florida this election cycle. How about this, Nathan? Look, Nathan Roy, Mr. Roy. I'm not trying to pick on you, but if you're gonna say something here, you gotta back it up. Okay, you gotta back it up. If Donald Trump wins by 20 points in Florida, I delete my channel. If he doesn't, you delete yours. How about that, Nathan Hoy, Mr. Hoy? Let's make a bet right now. Let's make a bet right now, okay? If Donald Trump doesn't win Florida by 20 points, you delete your channel. If he wins Florida by 20 points or more, I delete mine. Let's make that bet. Let's have it right now. Tell me it's a yes. Why do you say no way? Why do you say guys, you saw our Mr. Trump fan here just going back on his words. Now he's saying no, New York Times overestimated. What do you mean? What do you mean? Why are you saying they overestimated? According to who do you say that? According to who do you say that? It makes no sense. Well, if you're saying he's going to win 5 to 7%, where is the poll? Where's the poll? Because New York Times is the only 3-star pollster here. They're the only 3-star pollster. They're the most trusted pollster, and they're saying Florida is plus 14. And by your logic, that is at least plus 19 or like plus 17 to 19. So are you going back on your words? I mean, New York Times was pretty accurate. It's a reality check. Yeah, bro. Like, okay, don't be mean to him. Bro, guys, we are not, we don't be mean to him, but we're because we gotta fact check people, right? We gotta fact check people. If you're gonna say he's gonna win by 5 to 7%, you flip flop on your position that the polls are undervaluing him. I mean, you have to give ground on one of them. Look up the correct posters. Exactly. Like, the thing is, when we look at these like highly trusted right? Highly trusted pollsters. They say things like this. And you want me, Nathan, Mr. Roy, you want me to trust the polls and then further adjust them by 5% for Trump? Do you know how big 5% is? Like, you feel like, do you think these numbers are small? Donald Trump is like +5 according to many of the latest poll in Texas. Like, you're immediately flipping to Harris, Texas by your number if it was for Harris. Like, you can't just put a +5. Like, you know how big +5 is? You know, if Trump has a +5, he'll be winning the national majority. If he hasn't won the national majority against Hillary Clinton, why would he win against Kamala Harris? Like, you have to back up. Look, Mr. Roy, we're not here to attack you. You gotta back up your claims. Marty Collins Addy, the keys have spoken. Thank you so much. You just shut that one down. But the keys have spoken. Look, Alan Lichman has not been wrong for 11 election cycles. Okay? I don't think this one is going to be wrong on. That's it. Right? And again, if you still believe in this garbage polls in which I used to, okay, look, I'm not Mr. Smart. I used to believe in these polls. I was wrong. I admit I'm wrong. I was naive. I was presumptuous. I did not know what I was doing. I thought these 3-star polls as well, like, they got nice. Sorry, I think I lost sound. Sorry, I think I lost sound just now. Sorry, I lost sound, but I was so excited I lost the sound. Okay? What happened? I thought these 3-star posters, they were the best thing in the world. I think they're so accurate until they start releasing insane numbers. Insane numbers like these. Take a look, +14. If I was New York Times, I would never release this poll. I would just say, we never did it. Look at Atlas Intel. 60% of black people are voting for Donald Trump in Pennsylvania. Only 54%, only 53% for whites. The white number was 58 in Florida. And they're saying 60 in Pennsylvania for blacks? What? And 3-star polls. You believe these posters? Look, guys, I'll say it. We will stop picking on Mr. Nathan, okay? Whoever still believes in Atlas Intel, I have a very easy bet with you. If the number came with a 60% black people for Donald Trump, I delete my channel. Otherwise, Atlas Intel has to defund their entire company. How about that? What about that? Most media need to have polls closed to sell ads and to keep... Look, Gregory, you are so right. These posters are out there in the news media cycle to get clout, right? They will release a few polls that kind of make sense, and then they'll just start releasing insane polls to get people talking about them. I'm part of the trap, I guess, huh? You got me, Alice Intel. You got me. You got us. You got all the 150 of us who are watching this live. You got us. It's good on you. You got us. And before you say, I'm only picking on the red-leaning polls. Well, how about this one? How about we go back to Pennsylvania, right? How about we look at Quinnipiac? Okay? These guys had Kamala Harris at +6 pre-debate in Pennsylvania. Was it pre-debate or during debate? Thank you for whoever that subscribed. Ignatius Udini. I'm so bad at names. Ignatius Udini, thank you for the subscription. Look, we go back to the polls, okay? Quinnipiac University saying +6 pre-debate, or is it right during the debate in Pennsylvania for Harris? Look, I'm a Harris supporter. I'm a Harris simp. I'm not foolish enough to believe that Pennsylvania was +6 for Harris, okay? At best, she's like +2.5, +6. And this is another 3-star poster. So you can't tell me, look, you're only picking on the red-leaning posters. You're not picking... They're not picking on the blue ones. No, I think they're all garbage. I think they're all garbage. How about that? Including the blue ones, the red ones, they're all garbage. How about that? I just think polls are kind of garbage. I think a lot of the polls are out here to to gain clout. Like they'll have like a normal face. They'll go like put like 5 or 6 normal polls, and then they'll just start posting like insane stuff just out of the door, just completely insane numbers, and just get media views. Like I think that's what they're doing. And if we look at the same Quinnipiac, where was it? I think it was in Michigan. Was it in Michigan? They got some like insane numbers in Michigan. Where is MI? Gosh, Michigan. Let's take a look at Michigan. Quinnipiac +4 Trump. Like, what are they doing? Even Trafalgar only says it's +2 in Michigan. Guys, like these are 3-star pollsters. Okay, let's go further back in time with Quinnipiac. Let's take a look at what's the other Quinnipiac poll for the very previous one for Quinnipiac was a +5 for Kamala Harris. They're saying there was a 8-point swing, no, 9-point swing in Donald Trump's direction in like 2 weeks. 9-point swing in Michigan towards Trump in 2 weeks. And these are your 3-star posters. Guys, Christian Navarro, it's 8 a.m. back in the United States. A cup of coffee. My friend, I love you, brother. Give you some love. I wish I could buy you a coffee. Buy me one coffee. Bullshit. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, it's insane. Christian, you can watch the stream on playback. It's exciting. It's spicy stream today. We got 150 viewers. You know, I think at our peak, it's insane. These posters, they're garbage. Even the blue-leaning ones are garbage. They're all garbage. Like if the 3-star posters are garbage, so will be the 2 stars and the 1 star, the no star. They're all garbage. Polls are just, I think they're just here for clout. The only person that I find believable right now, not betting markets, not posters, not news pundits, Alan Lichtman. That's the only person I can trust right now. He's 13 keys, says Kamala Harris will win. Look, it's not close. Guys, it's not close. Look, this was the performance by Biden. Are you telling me 1, Harris isn't doing better than Biden, 2, Trump isn't doing worse than a mental decline? Because if he is, this is the outcome. I'm just saying. Look, Bear and Unicorn Media, thank you for the sub. Do I want to adjust the source? I will adjust it post stream. Something's wrong with this, misaligned. Thank you for the sub, Gregory Reed. Polls become less and less relevant the more early and million votes. Yes, Gregory, Mr. Reed. Truth, baby. Carries the bottle of Jack Daniels in her pocketbook. The pressure's getting to her. Come on. I mean, the numbers they're just bogus. The numbers are just insane. 60% of black people voting for Donald Trump. I just bombed you this poll. I was like, what? I'm looking at the label here. Am I looking at this wrong? It's like, what? Really? And who is the other 17% Asians who are voting for Donald Trump? Dude, if you're Asian and you're voting for Donald Trump, don't. Okay? You making us Asians look dumb, okay? Just people like you. People like you, huh? You making us look dumb. You making us look dumb, okay? You better stop doing that. You making us look dumb. Okay, get this off. Sorry about that. Come on. Who is there 17% of Asians voting for Trump? Come out of the woodworks. Let me show your face. Why is she such a breath of fresh air? Oh my god, the old and the same old people arguing about nonsense. I'm just so tired of them. Like seriously, a lot of people are tired of them, and they're not answering polls. A lot of the young people are not answering polls. A lot of the opt-in polls are mostly filled with Trump people because they're so willing and so urgent to express their opinions publicly, how much they want to vote for Trump. It's like most of the polls are, first of all, they're biased to their garbage. They're garbage. Young people are not responding. The people that are responding to opt-in are massively pro-Trump, as in sampling bias towards Trump. And of course, a lot of women posters, when they're polled over the phone, their husband is somewhere in the house. They can't say they're voting for Harris. But you know what's going to happen on the ballot box? It's going to be a Harris vote. So, like, here's the thing. Thomas Lear, Trump 2024, we'll see. We'll see. Hey, we disagree, but we shall see. We shall see. And yeah, you know what? I'm gonna cut it close. Final call. I don't think it's gonna be close. Okay? I'll be modest. Okay? I'll be modest. I will say, okay, let me refresh the webpage. I'll be modest. This is my final call for today. I have lost confidence in any poll. Red leading polls, blue leading polls, they all look idiotic. Okay? They all look idiotic. I'm gonna say Kamala Harris is going to take the blue wall. She's going to take Nevada, Arizona, either one of Georgia or North Carolina. I'm going to say North Carolina. She's likely to lose at least one. She's going to turn Florida very close to winning. She's not going to take Florida. Again, it's possible. I'm not saying she won't, but it's possible. But again, unlikely. She's going to turn Texas into the lean column, Iowa into the lean column, Ohio into the lean column, Alaska into the lean column, Main second district to the main column. And guys, and she'll put Kansas and Missouri into the likely column. Guys, this is the map, 2020 map we're looking at. She's going to repeat Biden's performance, swap Georgia for North Carolina, and put several likely red states leaning red. This is my prediction. If the election is to really be held today, she'll be exactly as Biden's number. Well, actually, Biden won by 306 electoral votes by winning exactly the same states. Because if she won Georgia, this will be 306 in Biden's time. But due to how rigged, this is the real rigged election. Okay, this is the real rigged part about the election. 303 as to 306, same exact state, but by electoral college, Kamala Harris will be losing an entire Alaska worth of electoral votes. This is when Trump supporters tell us the election is rigged, I point into this. Explain to me how come she can win exactly the same states as Joe Biden and lose one entire Alaska? You want to call election rigged? I say electoral college is rigged. How can Hillary Clinton win the popular vote and lose the election? Like, you guys keep saying it's rigged. It is rigged, guys. It is rigged. It is rigged. It is rigged, but look, it is rigged. She could win the popular vote and lose the election. She could win exactly the same states and lose one entire state out of nowhere. It's rigged. I mean, it is rigged. You guys are right. Y'all Trump voters are right. The election is rigged. And you know what? This will be my final call today. I'm going to call it for her. Kamala Harris will win the presidential election by winning Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Nevada, Arizona, North Carolina. She's going to lose Georgia, come very close in Florida, come very close in Texas, come rather close in Alaska, Iowa, and not so close in Ohio, but close enough. And she might put a little blue kick in Kansas and Missouri. And this, guys, and she'll be likely putting Main second district into likely column as well, into lean column as well. Guys, this will be my call today. She'll perform exactly as Biden did in 2020, and this will inaugurate Kamala Harris as the 47th president of the United States of America in 2024. This will be my forecast. Like I said, the election is not close at all because the polls are lying and they're polling garbage numbers. This, I will call it the end of my stream. Thank you guys for watching, and may God bless America. Go out there and vote. No matter what anybody tells you, go out there and vote. Doesn't matter if you think she's going to win. Doesn't matter if you think she's going to lose. Go out there and vote and may God bless America. Thank you all for watching.